What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to episode 31 of Domicile, the podcast that explores the subculture of truck drivers as well as logistics professionals, bringing their stories to the masses. I'm your host, Scott Cleary, and before we kick things off, as you can see, I'm in a different location today because my internet that I pay over $70 a month for is trash, so I'm plugged into my living room. It's a hard life. It's a hard life I live. Yeah, freaking wow network. Wow. It's terrible.
Wow, this is awful.
Wow, this is not the 500 megabytes I pay for. Anyways, let's talk quick about our favorite colorful recruiting rodent, Purple Squirrel. Purple Squirrel represents freight agents, freight brokerages, and freight forwarding companies. Say that 10 times fast. If you'd like to earn more, reduce your liability, and grow your career, you should have a chat with Ryan Smith over at Purple Squirrel. He's a veteran too, so hey, support the vets about becoming an independent agent. They represent multiple broker and forwarding companies, allowing them to provide you with several career offers. You have options. Let them advocate on your behalf. Paul, over to you, my friend. What's good today, my dude?
Oh, dude, I got a new headset. I look like I work at a call center. It's awesome.
Yes.
I
think it's classier than the call center.
Maybe. I don't know. It's nice. I like
it.
At
least you manage the call center.
I did it for me.
You did. And I'm proud of you.
Yeah, thank you. No, we're doing good over here. A lot of fun things going on at Conduit. We just announced our driver's CDL verification.
As of mid-August, CDL verification, huh?
Yeah, CDL verification here, and pushing that pretty hard. A lot of interest right out of the gate for that. That's pretty awesome. And just really having a blast outside of work. Let's see, what are we up to? Not gonna lie, the new Battlefield 6 beta came out. I told you a little bit about that. Played with the boys. Oh god, it felt like it was 2010 again. I was like, oh boy, I have work tomorrow, gentlemen. I have to go. But no, great time. Doing a lot of on-sites. It's been really fun.
Essential. On-sites are good.
But outside of that, I mean, really just rocking and rolling, making this podcast with you, buddy. Really excited for what's going on today. It's a very, very good friend of mine coming on here.
I know.
I can't believe we're going to be with such a celebrity,
such a beauty, such a certified beautician.
Beautician like that. Love that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can have it.
You can have it. I'll keep it. Put it in my back pocket.
Yeah. Save it for a rainy day. That's
we'll talk after the show.
I got that from
my people call your people.
Yeah, definitely. Which is just us talking sometime randomly during the workday.
My people call your people. It's literally me FaceTiming you in the middle of the day at lunch. Be like, what are you eating? Oh, I'm eating chicken and rice. What are you eating? And you're like, I'm eating beef and vegetables and sweet potato. Oh, no way. Right. And then I call you, get into the next day. Guess what you're doing? Same thing. Nothing changed. Nothing changed.
I'm a creature of habit. A man of no mystery.
Well, so there's some mystery. I wonder what's going on between your ears sometimes.
Oh, you don't want to know. Like you know when Morty's dad goes into Rick's head for like 10 seconds, he comes out freaking out and his like skull basically melts. All right, so I'm not nearly that smart, nor have I seen things, but it's scrambly in there. It's interesting. You come out like you don't need to think that hard, dude.
If you were in mine, you'd be like, "What's the elevator music and why is there nothing?"
It's just empty with elevator.
Yeah,
sounds calm.
Yeah. It's not that it's calm. It's that there's just you got to try to you got to keep it empty. Keep everything in the closets. You know what I mean? You ever met somebody that cleans and they just everything goes into the closet?
Yeah, that's my girlfriend. We're fixing that right now. Yeah.
Oh, we're fixing that right now. That's great. Let me know how that goes.
Whoa, we're throwing like so much out. It's making me cringe because I hate waste.
Oh, okay.
But we need to. Her house is quite busy.
Let's keep. We'll make a little segment of this. Let's keep update on the move.
The update. Okay, so where we are right now, right? So obviously, for those listening, I probably mentioned that we're working on the move-in. The idea is to have it before. It's August 13th right now as we're recording. This is coming to you live after Labor Day, but live. It's not live. It's coming to you after Labor Day. And so far, we have reorganized her daughter Bella's room.
Nice.
We have emptied out the spare bedroom, which is going to be my office and kind of my area where I have like my dresser drawers and all that stuff, because she's got her walk-in closet that you can't even see inside because of all the clothing. But that's a different thing. So we've done her room, or her daughter's room, the spare room, and now we're working on her office downstairs, which we definitely are tackling the 3 toughest things in the house. So that's where we're at right now. We made a mess of it last weekend, and this weekend we're going to tidy it up. So yeah, that's where we're at. That's where we're at, my man. With that, so it'll be a little better than when people are. We'll be ahead of where we are now when people are listening to this. But yeah, it's a task reorganizing somebody else's home so you can move in. It's wild.
I have an incredible solution.
Have someone else do it.
You rent a dumpster and you just go, let's just start over.
Yeah,
what if we just start over?
We are throwing out a lot of stuff. Like we've probably thrown away 5 trash bags worth of stuff, and it hurts.
That feels light.
No, it's not bad because her house isn't huge, right? It's about 1,500-1,600 square feet, but we don't have to go down the rabbit hole. But the point is there's a lot.
You're going through square footage with me, dude.
True.
We're talking square footage. We're talking. It's got great bones. It's in a good location, good school district. You might as well just be selling the house right now.
Yeah, it's a little. There's some questionable characters around, but hey, this is Florida.
I mean, you me.
I'm the minority when we're there, though. It's like token white boy. It's a Spanish neighborhood for sure.
I mean,
all right, there's a few token white boys, but there's not many.
I was gonna say I like that for you.
Me too. Diversity. I'm just learning every day.
You gotta represent.
Yeah, gotta represent.
Represent for the white guys with beards, with really well kept beards.
Thanks, pal.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. But
I'm
really excited. I'm really excited to chat with our guest. I'm chomping.
I know. Let's do it. Let's do it.
I'm really excited. We got to talk to him. He's a crazy cool guy.
Yes.
And I feel like I'm imagining you have some sort of intro here.
I always have an intro, Paul. I have an intro.
Of course you do.
So you have to pump the people up. We have to pump the people up and get the guests going, right? We got to give them one of these.
It gets the people going. Yeah.
Nobody knows what it means. All right. So to that point, before I introduce our next guest, let me just say, Paul is who suggested having this guy on, if you haven't figured that out yet, from how he's so excited. And we quickly spun up one of those group texts that everybody loves so much in order to coordinate the date and time. And immediately, the 3 of us were cracking jokes and having a blast, chatted up about absolute nonsense. I don't think we got anything accomplished in the group chat other than laughs, which is really what life's all about. We're all going to die someday. Might as well have a laugh. So he comes to us with 15 years of experience in the freight and logistics industry. He's currently the VP of Ops and Carrier Strategy, okay, bud, at Trinity Logistics, and apparently has a nickname he says isn't appropriate to the podcast. So welcome to the show, Chad Taylor. Amped to have you on, my guy. Thanks for joining.
What's going on, guys? Happy to be here. Appreciate it.
Woo!
Long-time listener, first-time caller, as they say. Who said that for you? Yeah.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh, God. That's a flashback, Chad.
Listener, first-time caller.
Well, no, there was a guy I actually his name is escaping me, but he was a product guy over at LoadSmart where Chad and I worked, and every company-wide call, a long-time listener, first-time caller.
Every time. I loved it.
Was it Matt?
It was. It was Matt. It was my favorite. It got me every time. As silly as it was.
As goofy as it was, too. And I used to love, I think, that was really fun back then. I used to love it because I think the leadership team knew it was coming every time. And we're just
every time.
Yeah, where's Matt?
I'm just waiting for him. And he'll ping in and be like,
prank call? He'd prank call in, or this is in work meetings?
Work like an all hands company.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just nonsense, just pure
nonsense.
He
hit the little Zoom button. No, he had genuine questions, but he would always start it with first-time caller, long-time listener.
Oh, okay. Now I'm following. No, that's funny. No, that's actually a thing from 98.5 The Sports Hub up in Massachusetts. Like all the townies. Hey, what's up, long-time listener, first-time caller? I just got to say, Patrice Bergeron, he's the best two-way center ever. I don't care what anybody says. He's the best. he's friggin' amazing kid. Like I don't even. So it's stuff like that. So they would say those things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
How much do you fight that accent, Scott, on like a day-to-day basis? It's just
no. I don't really have one. No, I don't have one. I can fake it. That wasn't even a very good one because I'm not around people from Massachusetts that much. So that was actually abysmal. But if you put me around, well, I'm from the area. But if you put me around my people, You don't believe me? You saw the shorts and the jersey in the background.
Yeah, this guy cried when Tom Brady left the Patriots.
I was pretty bummed. Well, he went into retirement, and then no, he didn't. That was Gronk. Gronk retired, and then unretired. Brady went to at least he went to Tampa, which is where I live. So I was like, we were like, you're welcome for our two best, and then they won a Super Bowl. Go figure. And I was like, I told you.
Yeah, I mean, all I gotta say, Scott, is I'm of the generation of Eagles fans where I remember just watching Tom Brady being like, I hope that guy just falls off,
snaps his neck.
Yeah, just like I had never had hatred for someone like I had for Brady, and then like as you get older, you're like, damn, he was really good. I don't
see for me, it was more. It was growing up a Redskins Commanders fan and just growing up with a miserable team. I was so excited when he left New England because I was like, welcome to Earth, you punks.
Yeah.
Because what you heard just now, the rejection they won a Super Bowl. You're right, they did. You didn't. I'm so happy you did.
No, but I was happy. I was happy that he won. I was happy that he won independently of Belichick. People were like, he's nothing without it. And I'm a big Belichick fan. Like, I was always the guy, and Bill, we trust, because, like, it's true. Like, they were sick-handed. But, like,
he's doing it right. He's doing it right. I've heard he's making some really good life decisions now.
Who's this, Tom?
No,
Tom or Bill?
Bill, Big Billy.
Bill has his 23-year-old on campus at Chapel Hill,
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Brady's got Sofia Vergara. Like, how are you?
Well, I mean, hey, money's cool, but
money's great.
Yeah, no, I totally get that. I mean, being an Eagles fan, you're like, you've got some time, right? You got like little McNabb action. You got Dawkins, right? Just an absolute guy running out of the tunnel barking. Like, you've got some interesting characters, but you don't really have a victory, right? Like a real like ultimate until 2017 when I cried at a bar in Buffalo.
I was very upset at the bar.
Eating chips, just Florida. Like bawling my eyes out. Someone was like, "What's wrong?" I was like, "I didn't know we can do
it." With a backup quarterback.
Oh yeah, I'm like on my 15th beer. I'm like, I didn't know we could do it. I'm like just bawling. So it was like, "What's wrong? You won. Why are you crying?" I go, "It's just a big moment."
I'm so happy.
It's not real.
Yeah. It must have been horrifying to look in that bar because they just look down and there's like a short little dude.
We're going to need you to leave.
Up. Yeah, sir, you've had too much. I'm like, third string quarterback. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. No, that was that was the highlight of my life for sure. Although I got to be honest, the blowout.
They just won. I was gonna say they just won.
The blowout last year was crazy. I was like, come on, put up a fight. It was like you poking them with a stick. You're like, do something. I don't want to. This is just a massacre.
Yeah.
Oh, I won a lot of money that game. That was fun.
Oh yeah, weren't you in the losers bracket?
No, we have a losers pool, so it's like a survivor pool. Yeah, it's a survivor pool, but my buddy's a nut, so he has you pick the loser. So like if it's Pats Commanders, you think the Commanders are going to win, you pick the Pats. It's like because it like messes with you a little bit. But speaking of the Commanders chat, I see the pup. The pup has entered the chat. Hey, doggy.
Yeah, that's Harvey.
Hey, Harvey. How are you?
What's
Harvey Specter?
That is Harvey. No, Harvey Kai. Yeah, I guess he's a rescue dog. We got him from a barn that my daughter rides at.
Nice.
He was
sheepdog action.
He looks like one. He actually looks like a wolf dog. Here, I'll give you a little.
Yeah, because you're. Oh, hey, bud.
Yeah.
He's a furry one.
He's about 2 years old and over 90 pounds. He's massive, but he's one of those dogs that's just happy to be here. Like, he's everybody's friend. Yeah. Yeah, most rescue dog kind of style, right? Like that person. I would say he's a good boy.
Sick. That's awesome, man. That's awesome. That's a good pup. I miss having a pup.
Well, we have 3 here.
What?
Yeah, and I want a 4th, but I have to pump the brakes on that one.
And you get kiddos too, right?
2 kids, an 11-year-old daughter and a 9-year-old son.
And you've got 3 dogs. Wow.
Full chaos, man.
Straight up.
Driving it.
Clearly.
Yeah.
But Speaking of your Commanders as well, back to the football. But I was actually at the Bucks Commanders playoff game this year, and I was silently cheering for the Commanders. I thought they were going to pull it out. It was just that last drive.
Yeah, man.
I don't know if you recall it, but
that was
a crazy field goal. That was nuts.
It was a fun year as a Commanders fan. Finally, it was fun to watch some good football. It's like it's the first year where I don't care about the off season because we have a good football team to watch. So it's very weird for me, but we're enjoying it. And Jaden Daniels seems to be the man. We'll see what happens this year. I'm excited.
I like him for you guys. He's solid.
He is.
So we've talked football. We got our small talk out of the way.
I see you smirking too.
So I'm going to be kind. So I guess for the folks that don't know, I think fairly highly of you, and
fairly, not very, but fairly.
I said fairly. I meant it genuinely, Scott. Let's not. What are you stirring the pot for?
It was fun. I don't know. Continue.
So I, and obviously we worked together in the past, but I think one of the things I admire about you, and one of the things I was really excited for people to hear about is, you've been like a freight guy through and through, and you've been through quite a few cycles, and you've been on multiple sides of the house. And I'm just, I'm curious if you'd share a bit of your kind of your 30 seconds of like, Chad's experience in freight, right? Maybe a little bit of a timeline or some things of that nature. Because I think because it's such an interesting journey ahead.
Yeah, sure. So I spent about 6 years at Robinson, a couple of years booking freight in the Winston-Salem office. Did that for, like I said, about 2 years there, and then got into leadership pretty quickly, was mentoring people on the team there, built out a team, started out as 3. We built it up to about 9 people in Winston-Salem.
Nice.
And as Robinson was going through the transition at the time, internally, operationally, between how they did business into what they do now. So my group was a part of that, which was pretty cool to see how a corporation can change and make transitions based off of what's going on in the marketplace and the needs. It was a really good experience to see that.
Chad, for those who don't know, what was the transition that Robinson was going through when you were there?
Yeah, so they went from that singular, multiple offices, but office model, to 2 split P&Ls from the customer to carrier split model. So you had the carrier sales operations side, and then you had the customer side of it, and that's what it is now. Again, I'm a little fuzzy on what it truly fully is contemplated, but at the time, that's what it was for when I was there. So I was helping with some of the North Carolina offices, and then got an opportunity to go to a company in Chicago to do some consulting work because I really wanted to get more like big picture. That was my favorite part about the role and on that side of it. So did that, and then had an opportunity and was introduced to the LoadSmart team and joined that group. Started out as account manager and got into the operations side on that business really quickly and helped build out the carrier development team and the flatbed division, and some of their other modes as an LTL partial kind of stuff. Helped mold that section of it, and then had an opportunity to build out a brokerage for a carrier, which was really cool. And that was at a time where the market was definitely in flux past COVID. Like we didn't know where it was going, but man, we were, excuse my language, but dude, we were balls to the wall. It was me and another dude that I had worked with, and this guy is just an absolute killer when it comes to sales. And then I got a couple of other people to help out, and dude, by the time we all said and done, and we had a $12 million run rate in a year 1 with 9 people, and it was unreal. It was operating just so well. It was a lot of fun, but the market took its turns, and that customer and our carrier that we were doing it with ended up shutting that down. But at the same time, I was here talking to Trinity, and that's where I'm at now. I started about 3 years ago. Started out as the VP of carrier development. About 2 months in, took under the pricing team, under my wing. And I've been working with the pricing team as well ever since. So the pricing and procurement department and division, we've been really building that out with Trinity for the past couple of years, and it's really scaled big time into what my new role is now, into the VP of operations and carrier strategy. So now it's kind of back at that piece where I was like, I get to kind of like play with all the pieces, if you will. But I get to really work with all the offices now, our corporate offices, and look at how we do our business, and looking at how we can standardize certain practices, because we want to continue keeping the entrepreneurial spirit in what we do. But we want to have a standard in how we do business. And so that way we have operational excellence, right? So, and through that, it's looking at efficiencies, not just technology, but operational processes that we've just got to look at. So we're in a really good spot, and we do a lot of really good things. It's just a couple things that we, again, like any other business our size, has to kind of move around and look at. So it's exciting.
That's awesome. I mean, I think it's really cool to have kept up with you over the years, right? And kind of seen as we've both, in our respective ways, ended up in different things, but in the same industry. And for you, I mean, I'm sure you're probably wondering how Scott and I know each other. We worked together at Revenova, and hit it off immediately, as you can imagine. Two gents, two distinguished gentlemen, with a
trying to find their way in this world.
Yeah,
we'll go with that.
Massive height difference. Yeah. He actually carries me around on his shoulders most of the time.
Nice.
Yeah, you should see that we got a custom built baby Bjorn, but he can't do it on after leg day because I'm like,
yeah, you're getting bulky, bud. We do it as a front. It's a front one where he's facing me, so that we.
It reminds me of what's that old 80s movie? Is it late 80s, early 90s movie with Schwarzenegger and DeVito? Is it Twin Brothers or like
Twins?
It's Twins.
It's called Twins.
Yes, that's what that reminds me of. That's
hilarious. There you go. I'm not nearly as big as Schwarzenegger, and he's definitely taller than DeVito. But it's
not by
nothing
much.
new. Well, I'm nowhere near Arnold. Gosh, that'd be great. If only the needle did that much for me. Not that I'm on the needle, but if I did, not willing to take those risks. So not me. Allegedly.
But no, I think what's really cool is we've kind of weaved our way out. Like all of us kind of ended up in this space, and like we talk to a lot of folks all over the place, but everyone that we've met that is like very successful, they all seem to have the same thing in common. It's just like very obsessed with problem solving. It's just very much like everything's a puzzle. And I feel like with capacity development and some of the things you built out, like definitely a puzzle everywhere you've been. Could you tell us a bit about like what about those puzzles really gets you going?
And what nudged you to get into like operations over sales? Because it's kind of the one or the other that you pick, right?
Yeah,
he was smarter than us.
Well, I don't know about smarter, right? Because that same timing that I got to learn things at Robinson was right at the same time that like the commission structure was introduced. And so like I had gotten into leadership right as that commission structure had happened. And so it's funny, like when I go out with a buddy of mine for dinner every now and then, like we'll jokingly talk about it. I'm like, man, I don't know if I would be where I am right now if I was a part of that commission structure, because I was booking 50 plus loads a day. I would have been making good money doing that. But I've always been bigger picture of like, I just like to solve problems. And that's what you said, Paul. Like I obsess over like, I mean, like every guy does when their wife or girlfriend talks to them, right? Or significant other talks to them. It's like, I got the solution. I've already figured it out.
You're just like,
right?
Let's do this. Like, no, just listen. You're like,
it's exemplified tenfold with my wife. And like, you ask people I work with, like, she's got to be a strong woman because you're a handful, because it's just 1,000 miles an hour. Right. But as far as like the puzzle pieces with carrier development, the interesting thing is I take a very simplistic approach to like all of this stuff because it's so complex. All this business is complex, all of it, right? And it sounds so silly, but like I really truly am a keep it simple, stupid person. And I'm just trying to lock in and understand what those things are. And really what carrier dev boils down to at the end of the day, it's relationships, and it's understanding how to talk to carriers and understanding how they fit within our network, not trying to just plug them in and say I did it, but how to make a long-standing relationship. And really the puzzle itself is within how a business operates, right? And so doing it at LoadSmart, it was about the same amount of carrier salespeople, but it was one singular office, one corporate business. And so
Right.
coming
Wasn't it?
to, yeah, it was one singular strategy, and this is how we do it, and everybody sings to that tune. So coming to a business that is 6 offices plus an agent model as well, it's for me, it was a little different to get accustomed to in the beginning because it's like, well, in my mind, it's still the same thing. A relationship's a relationship, and you
Yeah.
develop it. It doesn't matter what we do with it. We put it on dedicated business, right? We line the two things up, put the right carrier on the right freight so that we can decrease our costs and increase opportunity, find more volume from the account management side, right?
Get
So
those fat rippies. Yep.
exactly. So we do that, right? But then it's really truly understanding here it was really understanding like the inner workings of each office so that we could really build the right model for this business because each business has a different model for carrier development. They have to. um because here what we're focused on, and it's the same focus everywhere, but our focus is on putting and enhancing good capacity into our network from a carrier development standpoint. And so what we're doing is they're going out and they're focused more from like a sales perspective. And I probably shouldn't talk too much on this, give all the sauce out, but no, but like it's simple, right? It's they call carriers and they talk to carriers and they
Yeah.
dive deep, right? Like it's simple.
So I was gonna,
Yeah.
so I was gonna ask about that, and you kind of went into it. I was gonna say, hey, like, what's the most important part of dealing with carriers? And you said relationships. So with it's becoming more and more, I think, on LinkedIn at least, like, hey, talking about how much carriers matter and those relationships do matter. So what do you and your team do to treat these carrier partners well, to build those relationships? And what can maybe other folks do who might be listening in to do the same thing? Because in the end, to your point, without the carriers, there's nothing, right? Without the drivers, there's nothing. So what do you do in order to make sure you take care of them and create a good relationship with them?
That's a great question. I think about the definition of relationship, and I think everybody has their own personal definition of that, right? So I think it's
Mm-hmm.
depending on who's leading the show of that definition. um you also can look at that from a volume metric, but a true definition of a relationship with a carrier, in my opinion, is a carrier that you're not calling to book loads with. It's a carrier that you're calling and understanding on and talking to them more so. Not even, I don't want to say that like, hey, how's your family, but hey, I've got these things going on my side. What's your capacity looking like, so I can take a look at how I can forecast if there's any surplus or deficit I'm gonna have on my end, right?
Yeah, where are you going to be?
Or
Where do you need to get out of?
yeah, or the other part of it is like, hey, if you tell me what your operating costs are, that's going to help me understand where you're profitable at, so I can cut down on the time spent calling you or emailing you or waiting for you to say yes. Because if I know your operating costs, I can get you what you need. There's going
Mm-hmm.
to be times I can get you more. There's going to be times I can't get you that much. But I know at the end of the day, we're going to have it come out in the wash, right?
Right.
That's to me getting to that point. And I honestly, dude, I think it's in the industry as a whole right now. I think the relationship piece is really lacking. I know we talk about it and I know we do it. And I think Trinity truly does a good job of it. And I'm not just saying that because I'm on your podcast and I know that people in my company listening to it, but like I truly believe we do a good job at it, right?
Right.
there's some pockets here and there, but it's about the ebb and flow, and they help us, we help them. Scratch our back, right? We scratch your back.
Yeah,
Funny
it's a
thing
really
about
good
my
point you
back.
bring up. It's a really good point you bring up, Chad. It reminds me, honestly, of, and this is going to sound like a weird parallel. It reminds me a lot of selling cars. And the reality is, like, I need to know your credit, right? I need to know your credit because I don't want to show you something and you get excited about something, and then the bank's just going to be like either no or yes, and it's going to really be a unfair. It's something that you probably shouldn't do, which, like, it just financially bad mistake or like bad opportunity.
What's the payment?
Yeah, and but like, you know, it reminds me a lot of that because it's funny you said that. Like, hey, tell me your, like, what do you need to, you know, your operating cost. And I think that I was talking to someone the other day about this. It's also in sales, and it feels like a lot of like business to business relationships have like it feels like there's a lot less trust than there used to be. And there's the assumption that someone is trying to do something like, oh, why do you want me to tell you this so that you can take advantage of me? And I think it's really hard for folks to get on the other end of that and say, no, I'm trying to figure this out so that I don't waste your time. And I think it's the same reason, like the same fear that people have there is the same reason why, like, and Scott, you and I do this, but some people don't, which is people go, oh, well, I'll tell you the price if you come to a meeting. It's like, no, I'll tell you, we typically range from here to here. Yeah. Is it even worth having a call? Like, I'm going to tell you right to your face because
I don't want to waste my time either.
Well, not only that, but I don't want to burn my relationship.
Right.
I don't want to burn because the other piece is like, oh, everything we sell or every load that you book or, you know, truck that you get covered, right? Capacity that you get, like you have a name, and that driver 100% talks to someone else and goes, well, I got a broker at such and such, and they're great, right? Like I got a contact over there and they're wonderful. And like, I think that's who's winning right now in this industry specifically, because I can't speak to other things, but I think it's about what you do. What you do gets talked about in a room you're not in, and it's how can you make sure that how you're treating people from a business to business standpoint, even if you can't do anything for them, will turn into something. And I've had customers come in here that I've worked with in the past. I've had customers that I didn't even reach out to that were like, hey, this other person gave me your cell phone number. I was like, why didn't you fill out a lead form? And they're like, they told me to call you. And it's like, but that's the same thing those carrier sales reps that you're talking about are doing. They're building those relationships. I guarantee it's like, oh, can you help my brother? He has a trucking company. And it's like, as long as the MC's clean, as long as you're like, you're doing what you're supposed to do, your CDL's good, all those things, because there's a ton of that going around right now. But I think it's so underrated what you're talking about in this space right now. There's a lot of this like, oh, I'll get AI to do it. I'll get it to do the parts of mine, I'll have it. And I think we're doing it wrong. I think we're trying to make the AI make the relationship part easier. When there's a bunch of back office stuff. There's a bunch of back office stuff.
Yeah, let's do the back office stuff.
And it would be great there because there's something to what I'm saying. I really believe it.
There is, man. And I'll tell you what, you guys were asking me earlier about like what's getting you jived up right now. But I will tell you, you get me fired up when you start talking about AI because I love it. Just in the like I'm really getting deep into it. And so
I'm just scratching the surface. I gotta start.
Oh man. I started with it about like 2 months ago, 2 or 3 months ago, and I built out my own agent and I call him Wreck-It Ralph. And I just throw everything at it. It helps me like organize things. But since that, like it took me down this path of thinking about the business overall. And like our big thing with carrier development and with the help of pricing, being able to put those two pieces together, there is so much work they've done behind the scenes that can impact the business on the front end overall immediately. I mean, carrier development has uncovered over 60,000 pieces of equipment since January of 24 so like that's of 5 people, right? So they're doing a ton of work of getting that. And so we want to continue getting that capacity in our hands. So things that I'm working on, like trying to figure out like how we can utilize that AI. And I'm working on a little side pet project right now that may really help us, not what you guys are talking about in the sense of utilizing AI for the back office, but I'm also thinking in the sense of like enabling our people more, right? So if I had a bot that I can sit there with all of the carrier development data, and you're gonna laugh because I've already Paul, you know me, I'm a goofy dude. I love
He
naming
did this
stuff.
at 2:00. He did this at 2:00 last night, and he named it
Yeah,
something ridiculous.
yeah. Sir Hall's a lot, and he's the man. Yeah,
That's awesome.
I can't tell you his tagline, but I'm sure you can figure it out. So from there, this is a family show, assuming, but from there, uh, it's cool because if the thing is like if I've got a sales rep who's trying to find a customer who's trying to talk to or is talking to a customer and they say, "Hi, I've got this lane," they could go to this bot and say, "Hey, tell me all the capacity for Charlotte, North Carolina, Dallas, Texas." And it shows you, here's the 15 carriers you've uncovered in the last 90 days that to reach out to the carrier dev team, right? Like enabling the sales team to do these things and to be able to go to our customers with an asset like strategy. That's what I've been pushing since day one here. And I'm so excited because we're really getting to that point to really be able to do that with some of these offerings we've got that we're building out.
That's awesome. I'm going to plug Scott real quick because do you know what that sounds like, Scott? That sounds like a solution in Revenova. And for those listening at home, that exists inside of Revenova, and you should totally reach out to Scott if you found that interesting, because Chad's a madman, but not everybody has Chad's absolute, I'm going to go build this right now. And no one can stop me.
I'm very impatient.
Yeah. And I appreciate that, Paul. And I was thinking that too. And I was like, do I do it? Do I not? But no, we in Revenova, you're thinking of the Lane IQ tool. And what you can do is you can post capacity, either, one-off capacity, like, hey, where are your trucks this week, right? What do you got? Or you can create recurring capacity. And we have a native AI agent, actually, Chad, called Artemis. That's the different. That's actually, so our one of our co-founders is pretty goofy, and he likes punny stuff. So our code is Revenova, right? It's R/TMS. So Artemis. So he went Artemis. That's the name of it. Which is RTMS is the code, whatever. But he went with Artemis. So what it can do right now for the capacity side, and this is just the first iteration of it, right? We got 4 updates a year, so it's going to just keep getting better. But what it can do is it can, if the carrier partner emails in like, hey, here's my capacity for the week, it'll create the postings right in the system. So I do know that one of our reps is talking to one of your agents right now, and you guys are that agent is close to using us or that office or whatever. I'm not entirely sure how it works. But yeah,
you guys have agents, Scott or Chad? You guys got an agent model?
We have an agent model, yeah.
So it is one of the agents,
What doesn't Trinity have?
Not Revenova. No. I was trying to get in there for 3 years before they changed the territories up. I was trying to get in there. I was like, please.
He was outside the gate holding on like Eric Andre saying, let me in.
No, he's at the boombox. You say anything. John Cusack.
Oh, boy. But Chad, that's awesome, man. Like coming up with that is like, that's the kind of stuff that I think is going to be really interesting too, because there's only so much we can keep in our brain at a given time. Yeah. And
that's what it's for.
I share brain cells with a few people, and I've only got like 4 in general.
There's not much going on up here. I think earlier. I think earlier you guys were talking about like what's going on between like the headphones. I mean, I literally have nothing but sometimes like a cornfield. I'm just walking in,
Mine's just Willie Nelson's Nelson cassette tapes playing, specifically cassette with the crackle.
Yeah, there you go.
That's your elevator music. It's Willie Nelson tapes with the crackle.
Yeah. I mean, come on,
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I'll take that. Well, you're walking through cornfields or wheat fields like freaking what's his face in Gladiator, Russell Crowe in Gladiator. Like, oh,
yeah, man.
We could say Chad is the Russell Crowe in Gladiator. He is the Maximus of freight.
I'm really reeling it in right now for you, Paul, on that one, because
I know.
I wouldn't say that I am him by any stretch. I would
you're doing so well.
He is him.
I'm just kidding.
Chad, you're doing so well. I'm so proud of you.
I'm just messing with you guys.
That's
so funny though. You're right.
Yeah, but no, that's so awesome. Like, I think I think the reason I brought up what Scott and like they're doing over at Revenova is I think that what you're looking at, what they're doing, it's like, it's such a logical way to go about it. It's like, how do I get information to the fingertips of my people? And it's funny that, you know, just to pause something, I wonder what you guys think about this, but it's kind of like, I watched this movie a little while ago on an airplane trying to fly into San Francisco or wherever I was going that week. And it was about these guys that were running fiber optic cable so that they could trade stocks like 0.5 seconds quicker. So they could execute that much quicker. Right. And it was all this money and all this work to do this. And it does, you know, give them an advantage. Right. And I wonder, like, if, you know, from a sales side, from a business side, I wonder if that's the approach. Right. I wonder if it really is like, I need to get the information to my team the quickest and the most accurate. Right.
Yeah.
So that I can actually have my folks on the phone live, be able to tell you exactly where I have things and exactly what I need.
Yeah.
And
less than 3 years, that's where a CMS is going to have to be.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's what everything's going to have to be. It's going to have to be like, I interact with this and I have to know the information.
Tell me that. Yep.
Absolutely. Real time. I mean, God, jokingly, when you said that like 0.4, I sit there and all I can think about is Spinal Tap, but it goes to 11.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I feel like we're just living life in Spinal Tap on repeat with that, because I mean, it's right. Like, you think about it, even 10 years ago, like the Amazon effect really started this whole thing, right? Like the tracking and tracing really kicked the whole thing off.
P44, all of them, yeah.
Yeah, you know, and it's funny because to your point, right? You've got automated pricing is a great example. It's a wonderful tool
if it's
when
right.
used properly.
If it's right,
it
has to be right.
Exactly.
15-day lagging average.
Yeah.
No,
and
it can't be fast and $4,000 off. It's got to be.
We're cutting you off because you are wildly unrealistic. Not even unrealistic, wildly unrealistic.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Oh,
So like that is a good resource when used properly. So like you think about that, and a tool like that, there's every broker's using it now. So many brokers are using it. So like, what value is there? Because you're giving the same rate. It goes back to what we said a minute ago, and it's still in the customer side. It's the relationship, right? Yeah. What are we solving? And so that's what we've been trying to do here for a while now, between the pricing team and carrier dev, helping and supporting the offices with their growth, right? With pricing, we've brought in an outside resource, a company called Yat, that they're phenomenal. I don't know if I'm supposed to plug them or not, so I got to throw that there. Sorry.
Does that name sounds familiar, Chad? Do we know somebody over there?
I can plug them. We've been with them for like a year and a half. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Rob
you're
Goss
good. You're
over
good.
there.
Wait,
Rob
who's
Goss
over there?
Robert Goss.
Yeah.
And Jared Hart. They came from Yale. Great guys. Fantastic tool. They've really helped us out, man, because the one thing that I was going to tell you, that the thing that happened with COVID, right, besides the relationship piece, is every broker is putting and every logistics carrier person is putting their freight on DAT. And so we're trying to get away from that, right? From a pricing standpoint, from a capacity standpoint, and not necessarily, we're not relying on it, but we want to make sure that we're using our carriers the way we should be, right? And so that's the big thing. And the Yak guys help us with that, because we're able to really give what our price is. And I take that back to the Load Smart days of like how we were building the pricing models there, and how that was done. Like that was our price, our way of price of doing business. And that's what we've gotten to. That's the value add.
Yeah. I think that's, oh, go ahead, Scott.
No, you go.
I was going to say, I think that's the crazy part is like, I think the market rate, this isn't the stock market. I think a lot of people think this is like the stock market, and the market rate is like a standardized thing. And I think the thing is that the price is what it's worth to a person at that time. And there's a ton of circumstances to go into that. And like, I guarantee you there are carriers out there that are taking 2 cents, 3 cents less a mile because they know this person. Right. Yep. And I bet there's other people that are taking stuff that's more than the market rate also because they know that person. And like, they trust that person because, it kind of goes the same way on the carrier side. I can imagine, like, if I'm a driver, if someone doesn't pay me on time, I don't really care what the rate is. I probably don't care. And if someone is like holding, if there's a ton of hidden fees and accessorials in this, and they told me it was first come, first serve. Turns out there's an appointment. I'm here an extra day. All that stuff plays into it. And I don't think that's tangible that's not tangible if you treat it and commoditize it like it's the stock market.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
You're spot on it, man. God, it's so funny you say that because we're look at that, huh? We're doing so many different things internally that we're working on, like from a carrier relationship standpoint and how we do things. What you just said hit it in my head about like some of the things we're working on for external partnerships and how we can pay carriers faster and the ways we can do that and what carriers can do that, because that's what they care about is getting paid and getting paid quickly, right? So you're spot on there. So again, you're welcome.
taking safe freight, right? Like, like from someone that's not going to load them bad and from someone that's not going to damage their equipment and especially from the owner ops side. But like, even at these 10 asset providers, like, 10 trucks, maybe 11 trailers, right? 12 trailers.
Yeah.
Like those guys that, it's 110, 100. How much is a trailer? Like, it's a lot. And it's like, that's your asset. You have money sunk into that. And everything that if someone drives a forklift through the bottom of it, that's a big deal. And that does happen. I've seen the pictures. So it's like,
oh my God,
it happens all the time. So, stuff like that is crazy. And it's, it kind of moves me over to my other point, which is like, I think like my default for drivers is that they're good. I'm not that way with everything in life, but I think like default when I think about a driver, like drivers as a group in a generality, I think objectively good.
They are. They're getting their asses kicked. They're still rolling.
Absolutely.
And I think I want your opinion on this, Chad, because you're talking about doing some really interesting things around like knowing your capacity and knowing who's there. And like my side being on the shipping and receiving side, our software works with a lot of warehouses, facilities, shippers, receivers, all that good stuff. And the number one thing they're worried about is I don't really care about inbound, but on outbound, I need to know who's taking my freight.
Right.
And everyone's talking about fraud. And some of the things I've seen, Chad, like the stories you and I used to hear and joke about in the pit, it's completely, there are things that are so ingenious of people removing the bolts on the top, rolling the door down, taking something off, popping it up, clicking it, dropping 5-10 pallets somewhere, showing up and going, I know the BOL says 50, but it looks like there's only 35 back there. And the seal's intact. And you're like, what's going on? And it's like, so I'm curious about like how you guys approach that of like really vetting people out. Cause I think in this industry, we really I want to give every driver a benefit of a doubt until I'm proven otherwise. But that's hard to balance when you're trying to run books of a successful brokerage.
It is, man. It's such a double-edged sword. It is, and it's not really double-edged sword, right? Like I think overall they're good people. They're great drivers. I mean, they're the backbone of what we do. Like I love working with them. That's why I've been in carrier operations and in operations in general in my career, because my grandfather was a driver. Like I've always had it in my blood. Like, so like it's always been a big thing for me. But man, the fraud and the amount of time spent perfecting the art of deceit is unreal.
So much effort.
You could have spent less time and done it the right way. It's easier to learn to do it the right way than to do all that extra stuff.
And as a salesperson, right? Like even not just on the carrier side, because even on the customer side right now, there's fraud that's out there that's happened where they'll call in, act as a customer and say, as a new BDR or sales rep, you're like, absolutely. Right. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you get a load on the board and that load's posted out and 30 seconds later it's booked immediately. And it's like, heck yeah, man, I got this whole load booked. And then you just come to find out the whole thing was fraud. It's like, what the heck? Like, are you kidding both me? Ends. Yeah. Yeah. So, we've got a really strong compliance team. We've done a lot. I know our CFO and our VP of admin, since she's came in, they've done a lot. And our compliance team overall, between some processes and some external platforms that we utilize, we've done a lot there to really help us lock that down. And what I've been working on, what I'm starting working on with them too, and having these conversations is what when I look at compliance, I look at compliance like our computers. It has malware software on it, right? Where it's always scanning the network and proactively finding the bad eggs. Where is the MC that was sold? Where is the non-domicile that we're getting hit from potentially? Even to the point of coming up with a plan for carriers that are shut down out of service from ELP, right? Like that is a real thing. If you've seen
That's
some of the
new,
stats,
yeah.
it's new and it's hitting fast. I mean, over 1,500 violations and out of services since June 25th.
That's
It's
crazy.
rampant. And I think in 2015 it was 10,000 overall or something like that. So it's pacing like 18,000 plus right now.
Yeah, and I wonder too, like, everybody, Chad, you'll laugh at this, but everybody for the last 3-4 years that I can imagine, everyone was like, oh, there's too much capacity. Oh, it'll bleed out. Oh, it'll do this. It'll do that. And, I think I see people say like, oh, this will really help with, increasing the costs and the rate per mile in capacity. And I don't know if I believe that.
No, man.
I don't know if we're ever going back to, where the way that was. And I think a lot of people use COVID as like that's good. And it's like, no, that's like 7 deviations above.
That is why we have this now.
Yeah.
That's why it's all equal and opposite reactions, right? So it's going to even back out and carriers start making their money again. But it's just like, we're not going to get back to that boom. That was crazy. But
I don't know though. You think it'll? I mean, I don't know if it.
We'll get back to a good market, but not that.
You need a catalytic event to happen, right? Think 2016 when there was 2 hurricanes in a span of a month, right? You've got COVID, and here's the problem with COVID. COVID was long lasting compared to some of these other things in the sense of, don't even look at it from a market standpoint. The way I'm thinking about it, and the reason I think we have the problems we have, in a sense, is because COVID itself was so fast paced that we got away from the day-to-day in the pit, listening and hearing the conversation fundamentals, because you're just so quick picking up calls, customer and carrier, not one-sided here, right? Both sides of it. So, and then you get that. And then once you get out of COVID, now you've got this entire organization that was grown up in COVID and nothing before it. So they don't know the markets prior. So it's challenging to kind of get out of that COVID mindset. And I'm not speaking in Trinity's senses. I'm just speaking in over generalities, not even speaking about them in our organization. Because, every organization is susceptible to it right now. So.
Yeah, it's a good point, Chad. I mean, you think about it, the people that started when I started, 2020, right?
Yeah.
In this industry, they got almost five years, 5 and some change under their belt. That's around the time people start moving up, right? That's around the time. And the people that stuck it out, I think there were a lot of people that joined in and obviously, second the market turned right, there wasn't a seat for them anymore. But the folks that have stayed through it, I wonder if I think about this a lot. I wonder if I have the chops of somebody that was doing this in 2016. I don't think I do. And I think I understand the industry, right, to the best of my ability, and from, the lens that I have working in the sectors that I have, right, in the little niche areas I've been in. But I don't know if it's the same as, some of the folks you and I know, and you as well, and Scott, I think it was a little different. And I think there's a big difference between the talent. And I think it's just exposure. What do you think?
Yeah, I think exposure is a great word. Produce season is a great example, right? It used to be the thing, man. God, with 2012, when I was first getting into this, 2011, 2012, getting into this thing, it's like produce season is coming. You better be ready, dude. And I started at Robinson beginning of March. So I actually spent St. Patty's Day in Minnesota in training. It was pretty cool. But came back into the thick of produce season. It was just hammering phones and dudes just mother effing you for your freight and all of it, into that. And that produce season's not here anymore. like that doesn't exist anymore. That fight, it's a challenge. It's an absolute challenge at times, and it really is. But it's not that fight like it used to be. I don't feel like. I think this year has been a little bit better from some of the things I saw, or seen, excuse me. But it's still like it's not like the struggle it used to be.
Yeah, less boiler room, more.
Yeah,
something else.
Here's a great way to. I kind of think about it this way. It's brokerage has almost become truly a 9 to 5, where pre-COVID it wasn't 9 to 5.
It was all the time.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that all businesses are like that, but like it feels that way. It's got that feeling, right? Like that's what it feels like.
Which is weird
as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, it's weird because the guys at the receiving dock in a lot of play, that's 24. That's 24/7, 365. It doesn't matter if rain, sleet, snow, Christmas. Like, maybe they get 2 plant shutdowns, right?
Yeah.
To run it. But those guys are rolling regardless. That's interesting because it feels like they used to match. It used to match the, really the volume of goods that were being created.
Well, it's funny too, because we say that you both work for tech companies, right? I mean, that's why that perception is there now, because the tech is truly enabling our teams to be able to get some of their life back, which is awesome. That work-life balance is truly important. I mean, if you talk to my team, they'll tell you immediately that, like, I'm huge into that. I truly believe in your family comes first, and this is a way of our life to enjoy our families. And that's also why I'm so passionate about this business, because if I'm clocking into work, it means I'm showing up every day, going 1,000 miles, giving you everything and telling you that everything I'm doing is the best in my abilities for the business that I'm operating with. So, yeah, man. And I think the tech is exciting, dude. The tech is so exciting.
Yeah, there's some really cool stuff. Yeah, Scott. I mean, you think about it too. Like, Scott, you're on the brokerage side, and obviously Revenue is brokerage and fleet now, right?
Yeah.
And I've gone into the other side of working with warehouses, 3PLs, folks that own buildings, and I think you're right. I think I joke about this, but it's like, what do you sell? It's like, you not missing your kid's soccer game because something messed up at work. Like, that's really all we do.
Yeah.
That's what tech does. But I mean, Scott, usually about this time we're talking stories, and I know.
Oh Lord.
I know, Scott, you're usually the king of the stories with getting that kicked up, but.
Well, so I was, one of two we could either have Chad do that, or we could have a part 2 where, like, down the road where Chad comes on and talks. I know your grandfather was a driver, where you talk about your grandfather being a driver, whatever stories you have from him, and how that influenced you getting into it, like you alluded to. And then, if you're on the carrier side, of course, you've heard and experienced some wild stuff. So we either you can fire off a couple now if you want, or we could do like a round 2. What's up?
¿Por qué no los dos? He's not leaving without a story. I know this.
No, not without one.
We're not letting him leave without at least 2.
Like, what's like barroom stories, couple things that come up like you won't believe this. Like, hit us with like 2 of them.
Oh my God, man.
Whatever you want to share, we're all ears.
I think one of the instant ones, and I'm keeping it low key right here. If we do a second round of this, I'll dig deeper.
For we will.
Yeah, I feel on the spot a little bit for it, but it really isn't that wild, but it was more hilarious because I was just got into the business, but I was pulling up a load at Robinson, and I was calling the carrier to give him some information because one of our account managers was like, "Hey, I need you to call the driver. The other guy's out." So I pull up the load and I pull up the event logs in the load just to see what's going on. And I'm reading in the load was picking up from Jacksonville, Florida, and was going to Atlanta, Georgia. And I get into his driver showed up late, ETA 30 minutes from now, keep going down, driver shows up, driver can't get the trailer unlocked, driver looks agitated and scared, and he's at pickup.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what is happening, right? Like, keep in mind, like, I'm a greenhorn, I'm fresh, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my God, like I'm reading this thing like a novel. And so like I'm going into it and it's like, um, we're now hearing this growling and hissing noise inside of the trailer. I'm like, what the hell is happening? So come to find out, this dude was at a rest stop and left his trailer open, and a freaking alligator climbed into the trailer, and he didn't see it when he got back to the truck and closed the doors.
Yeah.
Showed up to the shipper in Jacksonville with a freaking alligator in the back of his trailer. It's like, are you kidding me, dude? So like, they had to get animal control.
See, I thought I heard it all.
They had to, yeah, dude. It was wild. It was pretty funny. So the guy was
So what
late,
ended up
but he
happening?
did make delivery on time, and I mean, animal control was called, and they pulled it out of the trailer and got it out of there. But just wild story for me.
Crazy. That gator must have been terrified too. Like, what is this? Like, oh, that's crazy, man.
It's pretty wild, man.
Gator in the trap.
Yeah, I can't really wrap my head around that one.
No, I got nothing.
Yeah, I don't. I'm thinking through. I'm thinking through the just shameless plug. I'm thinking through the conduit tool of someone like documenting that nowadays, like how that would be documented in the system, and like how that screenshot, like because our system sends that information, all the images at the end of the load. So can you imagine sitting back at at the brokerage and you're like, oh, it picked up. Oh, it's rejected. Why? Never seen. There's no reason code for that. Like, there's no like, what's
wild animal?
It's just a picture. Yeah, it's just manually typed out alligator in trailer, which is hilarious.
Yeah, man.
Oh my God.
That's great.
God. Dude, that's so Florida.
That's wild.
That's very Florida. Absolutely.
Yeah. No, that's
the gators
awesome.
find their way into everything.
No, they do. They do. Yeah, I think the only story I have, Chad, and I'll keep it PG, but the only story I have that we experienced together was and I'll never forget this ever in my life. But I was
the only PG story.
Yeah, I was a newly minted manager of about 10, 11 people at the time. It grew pretty fast. And Chad, you had just spun up the flatbed side of the business, and we were getting ready to go out and push right on the enterprise side for that. And we have this meeting, and you're sitting in your house down in Carolina, and you're up on this big screen in this training room, and everybody comes in, shuffles down, they're all eating snacks, and you go through the whole presentation. You go, flatbed, yeah, we don't want we don't I don't even know if I can say it. We don't want any lumber. He goes, we don't want any lumber. Lumber can sit. You're teaching, and we're all new, right? Like, I mean, I'm sometimes amazed when I think back to how little I understood. And they're like, look, we don't want lumber. It can sit as long as it wants. We're looking for real good opportunities. Let's think capital equipment. Let's think big ODOW stuff that you can't put a drive in. And you're explaining, here are the different, to these folks, like, here's an RGN, here's a step deck, here's just, all of this stuff here. Yeah. And you're going through it and what commodities work. And we go through this whole thing. And then at the very end, you reiterate, no lumber. I don't want any lumber at all. Not a single piece of lumber. And this guy, I don't even remember his name. It was one of my direct reports, raised his hand and goes, Chad, I have a question. And you're like very excited because you're like, I gave this presentation. You nailed the presentation. Everyone's like, oh, I learned so much. And we're looking at, I could see your face clear as day on this massive 60-inch screen. And the guy raises his hand and goes, so I've been talking to this company, 84 Lumber, and your face just after 30 minutes of no lumber, please, no lumber. And your face just fell. Oh. And I just remember like wanting to crawl inside the collar of my shirt. And I don't even think you went, huh? And the guy goes, 84 Lumber. And I remember you like very kindly explaining like, that's lumber. And as I mentioned earlier, we don't want any of that. Like, we don't want any of that at all. Like, that's not going to be freight that's going to have, anything that we're going to make money on, right? And then I think the kid was like, well, why? And he like followed it up with like, why? And about that time, my phone is blowing up and you're like, who is this kid? Can you stop asking me questions? I have a meeting in 5 minutes and I can't explain this again. You can take it from here. And then you were like, yeah, you should talk with your manager. He'll cover that for you. And then you just left.
Bye.
Yeah,
Walked
you just
left.
Yeah. And I'll just never forget. No, 30 minutes of no lumber. 30 minutes, no lumber.
You know what the ironic part of all of that is?
What?
How much fucking lumber we hauled.
No lumber. Yeah, it was that kid, 84 lumber. He hooked it up, man. I told you, we're making fun of him.
That kid is like wagons now.
It's like our number one commodity.
No, so real quick on that same vein. So when I was at Blue Grays, first 2 years sold LTL, second 2.5 years, you know, my buddy Nick Smith spun up the truckload side. So we were DAT rats, right? We were just DAT brokerage. We didn't have the capacity yet, right? We were working on it, but first 2 years. So we had this one guy, like looked like Johnny Bravo. No lie, jacked, huge, right? Definitely natural. And had a natural attitude as well. Like there's no way this guy was on anything.
Like Elvis?
No. He just looked like Johnny Bravo. So he talked very angrily most of the time. But no. So anyway, so he got this lumber guy in Wyoming, and he was like, he had like 10 lumber loads up on the board coming out of Wyoming. I don't remember where they were going to, but they're coming out of Wyoming. And this is right before, he's probably about a year in, maybe 6 to 8 months. Not a bad guy, right? Some of his stuff that he was about, I just totally didn't agree with, neither here nor there for the pod. But I was about to go on vacation, and he had these, and I was just another rep, right? I was just another knucklehead. And we all, like, no tier 1 products, right? Steel, lumber, like you said, Chad, it can sit, there's no money. Like, stop it. So he's got these loads on the board. He's got, like, fat rips on him. And he's just on, like, why can't we get these covered? Rah, rah, rah. Like, I've got 10 loads on the board. What else? So he's like, all the stuff you hear from a rep is not getting their stupid load covered. So I go on vacation. I forget where. I come back and end up like, he's gone. Like, he's just not there anymore. So long story short, I wasn't there for the grand show, but I guess like he like threw a fit, left, just walked out.
Wow.
And like he didn't have like good numbers or anything either. Like I'd been there a long time, and just like if I had like a you know a hissy fit and walked out, like I could have recovered, right? He'd been there less than a year. And I guess he came back the next day like nothing happened, and they're like, "Bro, what are you doing here?" Like, what do you mean? I'm here to work, and they're like, "Nah, dude, you left. Like, you left. You're done."
What?
Oh my God!
He left. Like I quit. Like what?
An anemic who's coming with me.
Yeah. Oh my God.
He pulled a George Costanza, dude. He showed back up to work. That's the most Larry David thing I've ever heard in my life.
Oh, it was fantastic. I wish I was there for all those. So I'm telling you, it's like fifth hand. But yeah, so that's what the lumber made me think of. Oh my God.
Bring the lumber.
But no, we need a round two. We need a round two because we were way too formal on this. We can get a lot more ridiculous. I think we should just have like a story episode. That might be funny. But Chad, any shout outs you wanted to give or last things you wanted to mention?
Yeah, anything you want to tease, anything you want to talk about, what you guys are cooking up over there? Anybody you want to shout out, anything like that?
Yeah. We were hinting a little earlier about like value adds to customers, and we're working on some really cool things here that's going to be a differentiator for Trinity Logistics, and I'm really excited about it. It'll be coming out sometime. I guess this is going to be in September. It'll come out sometime middle of September about some partnerships we've got going on, which we're excited about.
Awesome.
But more to come, and we'll be able to talk about that too, man. We can really dive into some cool stuff about that.
Let's do it. I think we should do that.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Chad,
sure.
Thank you so much for coming, man. I love catching up. Love having you on the pod, and Scott, I know I knew you'd love the stories. So,
oh, dude, my goal is to eventually have us just like this is all stories. We'll get there though. But no, Chad, again, it was awesome chatting with you. I look forward to staying in touch. Another great thing about this podcast is we get to meet, and this time I get to meet new people, and you never know where our careers are going to bring us. So having a network and a bigger network is never a bad thing. So thanks for coming on, man. It was a pleasure, and we definitely do need to do a round two. But hey, to everyone listening, please be sure to check us out every other Tuesday at What's Domiciled on YouTube and Spotify. On YouTube and Spotify for those full episodes, and YouTube and Instagram for the reels. We really appreciate you for tuning in. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe, and have a great day. Woo!